All right, guys, so we are going to stick with what we were doing before with our review homework. So you're going to watch this video. If you got the answer correct, you can fast forward. If you got the answer wrong, you need to watch the video to see how the answer should be solved. Okay, so this is our review for equations. Number 3, your answer should be m equals 8. For number 4, your answer should be c equals negative 6. And for number 5, your answer should be n equals 30. Okay, so if you got all of those right, you can go ahead and fast forward to number 6. But I'm going to go ahead and dive into these now. So number 3 is first. According to SAMD, what I need to do is I need to add 4 on both sides first. I'm left with 3m equals 24. That's the same as 3 times m. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3. I forgot to cancel, I apologize. So the 4's cancel, the 3's cancel. I'm left with m equals 8 after we divide. For number 4, drawing my line, again according to SAMD, I get rid of my addition first, so I subtract 4, doing the opposite. I have c over 6 equals 3. Between the c and the 6 is division, so I'm going to multiply to undo the division. And I'm left with c equals, oh gosh, typo on my part, c equals negative 6. For number 5, I'm going to show you the way that I like to solve this problem. It is not the only way, so if you have questions, we will address those in class. We are going to first get rid of our 6. So I'm going to multiply by 6 on both sides. So on the left, I'm left with 5n, and on the right, I'm left with 150. Now I have 5 times n, opposite is division, so I divide both sides by 5, and n equals 30. I like this way because then I don't have to do multiplying fractions there, which is nice. All right, moving on to numbers 6, 7, and 8. I will write the answers first, and then you can fast forward to whichever problem you need. So number 6 is y equals 3 over 2, or 1.5. Number 7 is n equals negative 4. And number 8 is b equals 56. So for number 6, I see 40 times y equals 60. So I divide both sides by 40. And I'm left with y equals, I could divide 60 over 40 and get 1.5. Or I could simplify my fraction by dividing top and bottom by 20. So if I divide by 20 over 20, I would get 3 over 2. So either one of those answers would be acceptable. For number 7, drawing my line, I subtract 2 on both sides. I'm left with negative 7n equals negative 60. Nope, because I can't do math. Negative 28. Sorry about that. Now I divide both sides by negative 7 because opposite, 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 n equals 4. You are allowed to use a calculator. And it should be a negative 4 because it's a positive 28. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry guys. 30 minus 2 is 28. I promise I can do that math. All right, number 8. Plus 5 on both sides. I have b over 8 equals 7. 5's cancel. So now I multiply by 8 on both sides. b equals 56. Okay. Moving on to 9, 10, and 11. For number 9, you should have gotten x equals 16. For number 10, y equals negative 3. And for number 11, y equals 9. For number 9, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by 8. So I have 6x equals 48. Now I divide both sides by 6, and x equals, oh my gosh, wow, I'm really struggling. 12 times 8 is not 48, guys. 12 times 8 is 96. Oh my Lanta. 96 divided by 6 is 16. Number 10. This one is written a little differently than we're used to. Normally the variable is first. So I need to look at my 11 first, and I need to do the opposite of 11. The opposite of 11 is negative 11. So I'm going to bring down my negative y. 14 minus 11 is 3. Remember that negative y is the same as negative 1y. So now I divide both sides by negative 1, and that's how we get y equals negative 3. Our last two-step equation problem we need to solve is number 11. And friends, this is a special case because remember I have a fraction on the left side and only a fraction, and it has addition or subtraction in the numerator. So the first thing I'm going to do is multiply both sides by 2. So on the left I'm left with x minus 5, and on the right I'm left with 4. Now I'm going to do the addition and subtraction. My 5's cancel. I'm left with x equals 9. And I'm not sure why it says y there. It should say x in the answer. Okay. Number 12. You will see a problem like this on the test. The first step is to circle the error. The next step is to correct her mistake. So you could resolve the problem if you want, or you can look through her work and see what she did incorrect. Either way is fine. I like to just look through her work. So following SAMmed, she needs to subtract first, which she did, and now she needs to divide, which she did not. So I circled my answer, or my incorrect issue there, and now I'm going to resolve. So I have 4x equals 16. I'm going to divide both sides by 4. X is going to equal 4. For number 13, same thing that I'm going to do here. So following SAMmed, circle the error, and then correct the mistake. So following SAMmed, I look in the first step and I realize the mistake is that they multiplied first. So I actually have to resolve the entire problem for this one. All right, so I'm going to first add 9 on both sides. So I have x over 2 equals 13. Now I multiply both sides by 2, and I have x equals 26. Okay. Now number 14, it asks which of the following are equations where the answer is n equals 4. There's two ways you could do this. You could solve every single one of these problems for the variable, or you could just plug 4 in for n in each of these and see if you get the answer it says. So I could do 6 times 4 minus 7. 6 times 4 is 24. 24 minus 7 equals 17, which is what I want it to equal. So A is an answer. 4 plus 10 is 14, so C does not work. 4 times 4 minus 7, I get 16 minus 7, and that equals 9, so that does not work. And last but not least, I have 3 times 4 equals 12. So 3 times 4 is 12, which is exactly what I want. So D does work. I'm going to do the same thing for number 15, plugging in negative 6 this time. So 4 times negative 6 minus 2 equals negative 26. 4 times negative 6 is negative 24 minus 2. Negative 24 minus 2 gives me 26, so A works. In letter B, -2 times -6 plus 4 equals -8. -2 times -6 is 12 plus 4. That's going to give me 16, so that does not work. -6 over 3 minus 2 equals -4. -6 over 3 is -2 minus 2, and that does equal -4, so C is an answer. And then D, 3 minus 4 times -6 equals 27. So I'm going to have 3 plus 24, which does equal 27. So that also checks out. D does work. Okay. Again, you could have solved all of those separately for your variable. That does work. It is your choice. Number 16, identify the coefficients. Remember, a coefficient is a number in front of a variable. So in number 16, my coefficient is -4. You can ignore that. Number 17, the coefficient, hold on. Okay, sorry guys. So coefficient for number 17. I have two variables here. So my coefficient for the first one is 2, and my coefficient for the letter B, remember, is 1. Okay, don't forget about that 1. And now let's go ahead and do 18 and 19, talking about terms and constants. Terms, remember, are our pieces of an expression or equation. So here I have 3 pieces. And then a constant is a number that stands alone. It's constantly alone. So my numbers alone are 12 and 22. In number 19, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces to my expression in this case. My constant is only -1. Everything else has a variable with it, so it does not have a constant. All right, so hopefully you identified some questions you have for us. And if you do not have any questions, then you can be doing the practice test in your book. All right, guys, let's take this test and be awesome.